All right, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I haven't hit record in a while. It's been a couple months. It is December 30th, 2025. The year is coming to an end. What I want to do for this video is I want to run through a lot of the lessons I learned this year in 2025. Some the easy way, a lot the hard way. I want to run through this stuff and share with you what I've learned. I also want to shift my perspective forward into 2026, and I want to talk about things I'm excited for, how I plan on attacking the new year, and just mental models that I will be implementing in 2026. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first thing that I learned in 2025 is that no decision is without consequence. What do I mean by that? Every single decision we make, be it big, small, abstract, minuscule, whatever, every decision we make will have consequences. Every decision is a tally for the person we want to become. It is accruing momentum, and momentum works in both ways, as we know. It could be steps towards the person we want to become. It could be steps in the complete opposite direction. So I've been really cognizant of this, and I've been with these decisions, I've been slowing down. I've been asking myself, is this conducive? Is this helpful to the person I want to become? Will my future self be thankful that I did this, or will it look back in disgust and with regret? So I've been stopping for a second, and I've been making those decisions, and it's really clarified my thinking and my decision making. So that is the first part. The second part, the second idea, this is more an idea on creation. It's the idea that we should make something exist first, make our ideas exist first, make them good later. Bring them into the world. They're not going to be perfect. We can improve on them once we exist. And I find myself stuck in these loops of paralysis by analysis, where I'll sit here and I will conceive of every possible way an idea of mine can go wrong. It will be perceived poorly. It won't be executed properly. People will find flaws in it. I'll poke holes in it, whatever. I will think of 1,000 different ways where this can go wrong, and I will end up just not even creating it to avoid myself that shame or embarrassment, whatever. So I've noticed this pattern within myself. I'm taking steps to combat it. And I found that imperfect action always trumps no action at all. Make it exist first. Make these videos exist. Make the articles exist, and then make them good later. The only way they get better is through repetition, through iterations. It's not the 1,000th rep. It's the 1,000th iteration, 1,000th change. You either win or you learn. There's no loss. Failure doesn't exist. You learn something every time and you apply it to your next attempt. That's what I've found. And it's been helpful in my process of creating the perfectionism aspect of it. It's hard. It's very hard. But just create. Just get it out there. Spit it out in the universe. And it will work out over time. The next part, this kind of goes along with that. It's the idea that nobody is watching you as closely as you think. Everyone is caught up in their own happenings in their own life. Everyone has their own problems. Like, they're not concerned with your problems. Like, no one is concerned with my perfectionism in these videos, basically is what I'm getting at here. Nobody cares if these are bad. No one's going to talk about it. No one's going to make fun of me for it. It literally does not matter. Everyone is caught up in their own lives. They're too caught up to be concerned with what's going on in yours. So I've been thinking of that as well. And on the flip side, if you are so caught up in someone else's life and you're entangled in that, that means your dreams, your aspirations are not nearly big enough if you have the time to be absorbed in someone else's life and criticizing and all that junk. That means that you ain't got shit figured out, gang, and you got to get there. So no one's watching, basically. No one cares. That's the moral of the story. Fourth and final, perhaps the most important, is the importance of systems. Systems matter. I really want to drive this home. I don't want to beat a dead horse because I talk about this a lot in my videos, but I really want to drive this home. The importance of systems. We're only as good as our worst days. And our worst days, we're forced to fall back into these systems, these patterns, these habits we've developed. So how good are these systems? How good are our sleeping habits, our eating habits, our gym exercise habits? How good are these when we're not on? Because it's easy to do that stuff when you're on, when the motivation is burning bright. It's easy to do all that. It feels like there's not enough time in the day. It's easy when we're lit on fire, but it's not easy when we're down in the dumps, when it's not going well, when we're getting our teeth kicked in. So we have to have these systems to fall back on to carry us through these periods of hardship. And, you know, I don't want to sound conceited or brag or whatever, but I would like to think that the systems I put in place this year have really carried me through. It was a tumultuous year. There was a lot going on, and I think the systems, the habits that I constructed really carried me through, and I want to keep building on them. I want to build on solid foundation rather than on sand. So that's where I'm at with that. So I want to shift my focus into 2026. I want to shift forward things I want to work on this year. The first one is I want to play bigger. I want to play bigger. I always think of the quote, and it goes that God carved your capacity from the same stone as your ambition. I think that when we aim small, we play small. When we aim big, we play big. You know, we aim small, we stay on the runway because we're scared to crash when the plane takes off, right? So we'll stay on the ground. Doesn't matter. You know, if we never try, we can never be hurt. I think that is a sad and poor way to go about life, and it leads to regret, truthfully. So I want to aim bigger, and I just want to play bigger. I want to play bigger games. I want to set my intention to play bigger games, more courage, more audacity. I don't care how I'm perceived. That stuff is just outsized noise to me. I found that the story we tell ourselves is empowering, right? We either tell ourselves we can, or we tell ourselves that we can't. Whatever one we choose to listen to, they're both right. So we might as well tell ourselves we can, right? The time is going to pass anyway, so we might as well chase what we want to chase instead of just letting the time pass us idly by. That's my rant. Next, and I don't want to preach to you guys, but the thing I want to work on in 2026 is I want to follow my faith more. I've really discovered that this year, and I've grown with it, and I'm exploring it, and I want to follow it more in 2026. I want to be led more by spirit and less by flesh. What do I mean by that? What is being led by spirit? To me, I think it means trusting in God's plan for you. You know, the path has been laid. We just have to follow it. Now, that doesn't mean we are excused or we're exempt from the work. That means that if we show up and we do the work, then He has taken care of the outcomes. We surrender to that. We let Him take care of the outcomes. And I think of the affirmation, God, I will take care of the quantity. You will take care of the quality. And I think it means exactly that. We show up, we do the work, do the little things right day in, day out. We surrender the big stuff. We surrender the outcomes. That will take care of itself so long as we show up and we do the work. So what does it mean to be led by flesh? It means to be led by ego, insecurity, status games, loyal to our distractions. We fall victim to self-one, which is the analytical, the thinker mind. This is the mind that talks us out of doing what we want to do in order to keep us safe, right? So listening to that self one, like I've talked about this 1,000 times, we're not always our thoughts. So if we get stuck listening to self one, we are trapped in the self-inflicted box. Also, to be led by flesh is to lose battles with the ego. The ego is the perfect embodiment of the flesh. It's these status games, the outside extrinsic motivation. These are zero-sum games, and they're unsustainable energy sources. They are absolutely energy sources. You can run off of these for a period of time, but as soon as that fire burns out, it's hard to relight it, and we find ourselves doing all the wrong things for all the wrong reasons, and then we realize how stuck we are. So it's not necessarily suppressing the ego. You need that. It's two sides of the same coin, the ego and the self, right? So we don't want to suppress that, but we must name it, and we must realize when we're operating from that part of ourself. That's where I'm at with that. The last thing I want to work on in 2026 is just keep following what lights me on fire. Keep chasing that feeling. And right now it's making these videos, it's writing on Substack. You guys know, if you watch these videos, you know I get fired up. I love talking about this stuff. So I just want to keep chasing that feeling. I don't want to be talked out of anything by anybody. If it's something I want to do, if it's something aligned with me and my purpose, I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to let anybody tell me otherwise. So I want to just live more authentically. I think authenticity is magnetic. People could smell it. I could smell it on other people. I want to live that way too. I want to be the light for others. That's how I'm trying to live in my 2026. And I'm hoping that you guys watch this and you make a decision to do the same. So that wraps up this video. What I learned in 2025, what I hope to accomplish in 2026. We'll come back in a year and we will see how we did. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the new year.